Last week, we talked about the impact that the cuts made by the last legislative session had on school districts, and we took a statewide look at the cuts in funding. Now I want to share with you the impact of those cuts at a local level. For the 2011-2012 school year, we received a reduction of $10.5 million in state funds. This cut sadly forced us to let go of 134 hard-working McKinney ISD teachers and support staff. This was over 5% of our total district personnel. We made every effort to protect the core content areas of the classroom from suffering from these cuts. We cut our campus non-classroom staff by 2.4% and our teaching staff by 4.6%. In an effort to protect classroom teaching positions as much as possible, we cut our central office support staff by almost triple that amount, or 11.6%. And while this allowed us to save teaching positions, cutting the support staff negatively impacted campuses and the support we can provide to our students, teachers, and principals. Now I'd like to show you how our funding in McKinney ISD has been impacted since 2004. You can see that in 2004, the state revenue we received per student was $6,241. If that amount never increased and we adjusted for inflation, McKinney ISD would be receiving about $7,842 per student today. Unfortunately, we receive about $1,000 less than that per student, or $6,861. And that's at a time when we're facing unprecedented state mandates, higher expectations, and are attempting to prepare students for a globally competitive workforce. When you look at what McKinney ISD has cut during the past few years, we've really made every attempt at not making cuts that would negatively impact the classroom. Fortunately, the Board of Trustees was willing to dip into our healthy fund balance to prevent any further cuts from occurring. We're always looking for ways to improve operational efficiencies, and we've received several awards for our fiscal responsibility. I believe in working hard to be good stewards of taxpayers' dollars, and we have developed an aggressive energy efficiency program to monitor and limit energy consumption at our campuses. In fact, all of our campuses have a high enough rating to qualify for an Energy Star Award. We began requiring all of our coaches to drive buses to games in order to avoid incurring the cost of a driver. And we've asked all campus and central office administrators to substitute teach in classrooms to reduce the amount we spend on substitute teachers. We're limiting the number of student field trips and travel. And even in spite of all of these efforts, there does come a point when the quality of education provided to our students suffers. Unfortunately, in my opinion, we are reaching that point. Since the 2011-12 school year, we have not made any deeper cuts into our student programs or personnel because we knew it would negatively impact the learning experience for our students. Some students require additional programs to remove educational deficits. Programs such as AVID and Communities in Schools help our at-risk students. These programs are partially responsible for the significant increase in our student completion rate. We have seen a significant increase in our completion rate as evidenced by the chart before you. Our completion rate in grades 9 through 12 now stands at almost 99%. Let's consider programs like fine arts, athletics, and career technology. We believe that these are vital to the development of well-rounded students and to helping keep students engaged in the learning process. If we don't see a full restoration in funding, I'm convinced that we will have to reevaluate our ability to provide some of these programs to all of our students to the depth that they are currently offered. We're already seeing districts across the state cut fine arts programs, share nurses and counselors between campuses, and charge additional fees to parents for student participation. We currently have one of the lowest student-teacher ratios in the area, and we may be forced to increase this ratio if nothing is done. We want to avoid making these extreme measures, but I'm afraid we may not be able to hold off much longer without changes in funding from the state. Extracurricular programs have enhanced the quality of life of our students and have provided leadership, skill development, and the ability of working together as a group to accomplish goals. Life skills that are vital for success as an adult. So where do we go from here? We are fortunate to still have a healthy fund balance for one more year, and it will be my recommendation to the board that we use it to delay making these difficult cuts in our district. We can assure you that we'll be following closely the decisions that our legislators make in public school funding. I know this is not the most uplifting of topics for us to cover, but it's important, and I think we need to have open dialogue about the issues we're facing here in McKinney. This is a great school district, and I feel that we are part of the reason that McKinney has been selected as the second best place to live in the country, and we want to keep it that way. Help us by sharing this video and the one last week with your friends and family, and let's raise awareness on this important issue. Thank you for your support for McKinney ISD, and let's make it a great week.